Hello internet, Guy from the Void here, and welcome to another vlog where I leave the Void to go to one of the biggest car museums in my country. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. But first, we just need to make a quick stop to pick up a friend. A female one. No way! Anyways, picking up the friend in question pretty much went as you'd expect it to. Even if most of the recording for it is just me struggling to put on my seatbelt. And so, the trip to the museum started. And here's a hyperlapse that I recorded even though nobody asked for one. Through the god-awful city that is... and onto the highway where most of the trip took place. Which is also where I managed to overtake... My god, I can't speak today. Which is also where I managed to capture this beautiful sunrise. But other than that, most of the way there was just plain boring. So much so that I literally hopped on KineMaster and started working on the leaked list video while I was in the middle of this one. On the way, we stopped at a gas station, but I don't think anyone in my audience cares about that. And got myself a gas station hot dog for breakfast. Something which I'm pretty sure my American viewers can't relate to. And after wasting 20 minutes in the bathroom, it's time to get back on the road. Yeah, I'm too lazy to make another hyperlapse, so normal recording it is. And after more leaked list editing, we finally made it to the destination. Alright, we have made it to the museum. Bruh, I'm not even in the freaking museum yet and I'm already seeing a cool car. And another one. Anyways, enough of stalling, let's go in. That's a very nice classic... Wait, what is that brand? Oh, Opel? I didn't know Opel made these kind of cars. It's time to see how many cars I recognize. 1895. This definitely has to be one of the oldest cars that I'll ever see. 522 kilos? Wow. And I just realized while I'm editing this that the car's name is Maxwell. Holy crap. A Ford Model T? Being honest, I never thought I'd actually see one in real life. And there's a mirror behind these cars. Great. And this classic Jaguar looks absolutely bonkers. I didn't even know MG made cars for this long. Holy shit, is that what I think it is? A Triumph Spitfire and the Porsche Spyder Type 550. And next to it is this classic Ferrari which I don't know the name of. And this classic Fiat which I think is on my leaked list if I remember correctly. Moving forward, we have a very beautiful rally legend. Renault 5. Never actually thought I'd seen one in real life. But here it is. And right next to it is what looks like a Citroen 2CV. And this beautiful BMW that looks like the 850 CSI. And of course you can't forget the original Volkswagen Golf, a Polish classic. Speaking of classics, right next to it is the classic Volkswagen Beetle, which over here in Poland we call it the Garbus for some reason. And then we have the Opel GT, aka the ain't no way we're ever getting this in Gran Turismo. And right next to it is this classic Civic. Very nice. And then right next to it is this legendary classic Ford Mustang. And this classic Camaro, which highly resembles the IROC Z. I don't really know these two, but I'm guessing that they're very legendary. I'm walking to the next section and... what's that? A Lamborghini Gallardo? Being honest, I'm a lot less shocked to see this thing than I initially thought I would be. And there's also a few cop cars from what many people call the good old days. Heh. I just found a Fiat 500. Oh, Zeep Sheep will be so happy for me. And right above it is the Cinquecento I used for 100k budget tournament. And you can't forget the Fiat 126, which is the Polish car of all time. I also didn't realize this museum had its own custom-painted Fiat 126. Very nice. I also found this thing, which apparently is the last Polonaise to ever be built. I've gotta say, this has to be the largest amount of classic buses I've ever seen. They also have a Volkswagen Jetta, but I unfortunately can't show you because of this chain here. And up there is what I'm guessing is a classic BMW. And right above it is another 2CV look-alike. My mom's probably looking for me, wondering where I went. That's a lot of toy versions of classic cars, and I freaking love it. And here's the Cinquecento from earlier, now that it's a lot more visible. Oh, and I just realized they have a Triumph Spitfire over here. And it's the exact same one that appeared in Gran Turismo. And next to it is what looks like a Spider Quadrifoglio Verde. I also didn't know they have a Syrenka in here. Nor did I know they also have Russian Wadas. Yes, I said Wada because that's the correct way to spell it. I don't know about my parents, who are wondering where I am, but I'm having a grand time in here. Seeing many legendary cars which I never thought I would see. And next up we got a fucking Alpine GTA Le Mans. Man, I really am recognizing a lot of these cars, huh? And here we have what looks like a Volkswagen Jetta race car. Man, Night Drive from the days of 250 horsepower would be thrilled to see this. And this Ford Sierra, which, may not be as iconic as some of the next ones, but still pretty cool. Speaking of which, we have a BMW 6 Series and a Porsche 964. Alongside it, there's the classic E30 3 Series, what looks like a Porsche 901 generation, and the Clio V6, the infamous French car from GT3. And we also can't forget the infamous BMW Z8. Welcome back to Find the Isetta, YouTube's favorite show. If you have found the car, write it in the comments. Here we go. If you haven't found it, replay the video. If you have found it, congratulations. See you in the next episode of Find the Isetta. But in all seriousness, I wasn't expecting the Isetta to actually be here. And here's this thing, which is almost as big as SVT's Elephant from 300 horsepower. Another classic Mercedes to appease the Polish audience. And this beautiful Ferrari, which looks like a Testarossa 308 hybrid. And here's this Volkswagen Caddy, which may or may not be added into Epic Turismo 2. Yeah, I think it's pretty easy to guess why. And it's powered by this giant V8. And here's more classic cars to appease the classic car fans in my audience. Man, that's a really nice looking engine. Alongside it, there's another 300 SEL look-alike. And next to it is literally the first ever front-wheel drive car. Alongside it, another legendary Mercedes, and ooh, the DS21 Palace is here too. And so is the E12 Generation 5 series, another classic Mercedes, and another BMW 8 series. Except this one has pop-up headlights. And of course you can't forget the infamous Ogórek, also known as the Samba Bus. Oh look, more Lamborghinis. And I just noticed this, but there's a fucking F1 car in here. The Tark Estonia 25, which as the name suggests, is Estonian. Man, this video is gonna be a pain for me to edit. And this is what looks like a Mazda RX-3. And it has its own sport livery. That's kinda neat, not gonna lie. And we have a race car Porsche 911. Looks like the 993 generation. And next to it is the infamous car from GT2 A-Spec. Along these classic Mazdas and the RX-7 that has no wing. And this is the freaking Rally 2 CV from Colin McRae Rally 3. Bruh, not only do they have the Fiat 500, but they also have the Abarth variant as well. Along with the yellow cab, Italian flag, a wagon variant, and a cabriolet variant. That's pretty neat. And on this wall we have a bunch of Fiat 126s, along with this custom livery Syrenka, and its many other variants, as you can see. And they also have this thing and all of its variants. And these 3 conveniently placed freewheelers. This would be a thrive for my idol Muye. And finally, we have this awesome looking Martini livery Fiat 126. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a 360 around it for the memes. You're welcome. And this Porsche race car, which would make you go deaf if you were to rev that bit. I know I said this would be the last thing in the video, but I just keep finding more and more and more. Such as this, aka the last Fiat 126P to ever be produced. And they really went all out by making it a Żółtek. Yeah, a way to end off the production line for this car. And you can't forget the Peel P50, along with the Reliant Robin, and this Citroen 2CV, which looks strikingly similar to the one that appears in Gran Turismo. Man, I am a car spotter today. Also found a toy replica of the C4 Corvette, Golf Mark 1, Audi Quattro, A110, Countach, and the Jaguar E-Type. And you can't forget the Ferrari GTO, the Ferrari F40, and the Mercedes 300 SL. And you can't forget about the rare limited edition C2 Corvette convertible. And the toy replica of the AC Cars 427. That's right, not the Shelby Cobra, but rather the AC Cars. That's pretty neat, I gotta admit. I didn't know Polish cars had VIP services back then. And this funny looking thing kinda reminds me of the Honda N360. And then it was time to decide which one of the cars were our favorites. It's time to guide my fam to my favorite car here, which has gotta be this thing. And this thing because it appears in the A-Spec mod. It's time to go to my bro's favorite car, which is the Gallardo. And it's also my mom's favorite, as she confirmed while I was editing this. Oh, and this is Olivia's favorite. And before you ask, no, she did not give a shit about whether or not I mentioned her name. And the F430 is my bro's other favorite. You know, out of the ones that are here. Remember what I said earlier about the tractors? Oh look, more Lamborghinis. Well, I wasn't expecting one of the tractors to actually be a Lamborghini. And there's the 2CV again, because yes. And is that a Maserati Merak?
Warszawa były symbolem statusu i słynęły z bardzo mocnej konstrukcji. Oczywiście wszystkim mogły się jedynie przyśnić Mercedes.
Well, that was interesting, to say the least. And finally, my dad's favorite car in the museum. And of course we had to buy a refrigerator magnet because it's a family tradition to buy a refrigerator magnet for everywhere we visit. Well, this was a lot of fun, but now it's unfortunately time for me to return to normal. I will no longer be able to see any cool cars from this point onwards. And that's about it for the car museum vlog. If you enjoyed it, like the video, and maybe even consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.